So I'm going to try and explain to you the way that I think Google Classroom should be used and the way that I've set it up. So from your home screen where you see all of your classrooms, one of those classrooms will be your physics classroom. And if you haven't already joined it, if you've only got the one that's for the whole of the sciences, then you're going to need to click on accepting the invite to get into that class. Now I'm going to use the 11.1 class as an example, but I set up all my classes the same. So if I click into my 11.1 classroom, the first thing I'm taken to is the stream. Now for me, the stream is very important because the stream is where I can put information that hopefully makes it clear to everybody what's expected. So if somebody asks me a question because they haven't understood, then I would answer them individually, but I would then think, well, if they haven't understood, perhaps other people haven't as well. So I then post something onto the stream for everybody, or I maybe make a resource. Okay. In fact, let's just pop this message back to the top. There we go. So that it's the first thing that you should see. So the other important tab is the Classwork tab. In the Classwork tab, you will find all the folders of everything that I've put on for you for this week. But you will also find, if you scroll down, all the folders of everything that I've ever put on since the timetable changed, since we rolled over at the start of June, because it is important that those resources are still there and available for students that want it. Let's just focus on this week. So for this week, our new term, September 2020, we're in week 1. You have lessons on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So whenever I put instructions or support onto Google Classroom, I do this as a material, not as an assignment. The material means that my to-do list doesn't get absolutely ridiculous, filled with things I don't actually need to do. So materials have instructions. So there are instructions for this week laid out for you in the material called, funnily enough, Instructions for Lessons, blah, 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 blah. Once you've completed instructions, then there is always a Google form that helps me see that you have done the work. So these are what appear on your to-do lists. The Google Forms that I've set up for this week will show me that you've done the work reviewing the Year 10 work, and there's a multiple choice activity to complete. There is an option to also do 6 multiple choice questions from topic 14 if you were all up to date and you've got topic 14 completed. And for students who haven't worked with me on Google Classroom yet, there is a questionnaire, a very short questionnaire that I've set as a homework task. So the only other thing you can see in that first folder are the resources for 11.1. That is a collection and links to all the different resources I have online. If we scroll down, let's try not to move that as we do it. As we scroll down, you can see I've also put in a collecting data from lockdown learning section. These are 3 Google Forms because I have the information from everybody I've worked with. I know exactly where you're at with topic 14. I know exactly where you're at with whether you've tried the mock from Year 10, that is. And that's great. But for all the new students that I've picked up, I have absolutely no idea what you've done or where you're at. So that collecting data from lockdown is a task that I need to save us time when we're in the classroom on the 16th, to be honest, because otherwise I'm going to have to go around and say, well, where did you get to? So this is about me finding out where you're at. For example, there are some students I was working with and there was a little bit of a tailing off towards the summer holiday there. So I don't know whether you ever did catch up and get that last little bit done or whether that is still outstanding for you. I don't know where you're at. If I do know where you're at, then what I've done is I have returned to you that assignment already to highlight really that you don't need to do it, and hopefully that will make sense to you. But that is something that is going to be a messy sorting out, and I'm trying to save us time by getting as much information as I can before I meet you, so that we can not waste time while I sort that out with you. But I do need to know where you are at. You will also see I am getting ahead of myself in that I have already set a homework activity for the 16th of September. That is part of it. I'm going to explain homework much clearer when I do see you, but you're more than welcome to have a look at what that is and complete it if you want to. I have to say it is pretty amazing actually how many of you have already been on here and done everything. I'm getting used to that with my year 11 groups. You're pretty awesome, it's got to be said. Now, the one thing you must not do for me on Google Classroom is only use your to-do list. In fact, I think they might have changed the name. Look, the name's changed to review now. I don't know if it has on yours, but it has on mine. This review to-do list gets mental. I mean, you've got all your subjects in there. I have to go through and wipe out other things that randomly get put in there from chemistry and biology if I share a classroom with people. It's just crazy. This is not the best way for you to see what I'm expecting you to do on Google Classroom for physics. It may be in other subjects, but for me, avoid it. Okay, it means you miss things. What you need to do is go in your classroom. You need to look in your classroom. So I've got physics at this time. I need to go into this classroom to see what we're doing. The stream will keep you up to date. The Classwork tab will show you, hopefully in a sensible order with a sensible named heading to the folder, exactly what you're doing. Most recent at the top. If you do scroll all the way down, you will see I have left everything on right back from that first week when the timetable changed, because I want you to be able to have access to those materials if you're going to work through them. And all of that bit will be so much easier to explain to you face to face when at last we get in a classroom together. I'm getting quite excited about that prospect. Please email me at my work email if you do need some individual help. Hopefully the instructions that I've put as a document and emailed to you, or this video, will help you if you're really stuck. I'll see you soon.